we've been able to make over $43 million with a branded dropshipping store. And I know that sounds crazy, so I'm going to show y'all some proof for the non-believers. We've been able to generate this amount with just one product. It's over $43 million and over $9 million in profit. And in this video, I'm just going to pull back the curtain and skip the fluff and the BS on YouTube and show you exactly what I would do if I had to make my first 100K with branded dropshipping. And after watching several YouTubers and these make-believe strategies, I can promise you this is going to be hands down the most valuable video you watch about branded dropshipping. So with that said, let's talk about the 4 steps that I would take to make my first 100K with branded dropshipping. All right, so starting off with step 1, which is the product selection, the true foundation of your dropshipping success. This is going to make or break your success. And the biggest issue here is that most people talk about products, right? You have to find the product. Even me, myself, I talk about you are one product away, which I truly believe. But at the end of the day, customers don't want your products. They want their problem solved. So if you can focus on macro problems, not products, then you'll never run out of customers. And the biggest thing is that products evolve. If you guys didn't know already, when I first got into dropshipping, like 6-7 years ago, my first winning product was the 9-in-1 push-up bar. Nowadays, the product has evolved and now they have this foldable counting echelon push-up board, which is like all fancy. It has all the bells and whistles, right? It has the ropes, the jump ropes, and like this counter mechanism thing that makes it unique. And again, the product evolved. But here's the thing, the problem that this solved never died. So what I've realized is through my dropshipping career, there has been several products that solve the same exact problem, right? And they evolve. There might be different combinations. There might be a unique twist to it, but the problem itself is always going to be there. And if you can focus on the problem, you'll never run out of customers. And the biggest lesson here is like focus on like solving macro problems like anti-aging, balding, overweight, obesity, pH imbalance. These macro problems that are growing every single year, verify them on Google Trends and make sure they're growing every single year, and you'll never run out of customers. You'll never stop selling products because you can always find a product to sell to those customers if you focus on the problem to solve. Okay, and the biggest thing here is that you need to verify every solution with the market, right? Now, at-home workout equipment is at an all-time low. At the time of recording this, in September, no one wants to buy at-home equipment. So this would be foolish of me to start selling at-home equipment. But men hair loss, on the other hand, if you would have started selling products to solve men hair loss through June or July, you would have been able to capitalize on the trend. You would have been able to capitalize on the market. And that's the most important thing. If you can ride the market trend, you'll have more success solving these problems because you're going with the market, not against it. And the biggest lesson here is that you need to avoid selling products that people want. People don't want to buy your products. They need a solution to their balding. They need a solution to their saggy arms. They need a solution to their hair loss. They need solutions to these problems. That is where you come in with the products. And I can't stress this enough. This is the make or break of any winning store. It is the product. But if you can solve a problem that people are having, you verify with the market, and it's a supplement, because nowadays the best solutions are supplements, then you're more likely to see success. And if you're stuck here, we actually created a program to help you find the product, right, that solves these problems, where we even give our students products that are verified by us personally, because we understand the importance of finding that right product that solves the right problem. And if you're interested in the program, you can just check out the link in the description. So moving on to the second step of what I would do to get my first 100K with branded dropshipping. And this is the branding and positioning step. And look, I can't emphasize this enough. If you're doing a branded dropshipping store, the entire goal is to be different, right? To create a brand means to be unique. So how do you do that? Well, you can't sell a product. You need to sell a transformation. What most people do is that they'll say, buy this neck ring or buy this product, right? Instead, you need to call out the problem that people are having and offer your product as the solution. So instead of saying, buy this neck ring, you're going to say transform neck into a youthful neckline. And the real key here is the messaging and positioning you're using. What separates you from everyone else? And I have here as an example, one of my favorite brands, which is my Dermadream. So instead of selling the same everyday product that everyone else is selling, solving the same problem, they actually chose to attack a different problem. So most people sell this product solving a double chin, or what most people on TikTok call a turkey neck. And that's what this brand did. They're solving the double chin, opposed to my Dermadream that's actually solving a completely different problem. And the most beautiful thing here is that when you're solving a unique problem, you're actually targeting a unique customer. This allows you to compete in this blue ocean of customers. This is where most people mess up. They find the same product, right, that everyone else is selling, and they solve the same problem. And it's like, you could change your messaging, you can change your positioning to solve different problems and actually succeed with the same product, just positioned differently. And I want you guys to understand something really important here. Some customers value some problems more than others. So what this brand did differently is that they understood that their customers valued an arm lift compared to a double chin. That could have been a bigger problem to solve. And their branding and positioning allowed them to target a completely different customer, solving a completely different problem. And this is what I like to refer as the blue ocean strategy. When you separate yourself from your competitors, whether it is through messaging, branding, or just overall problem that you're solving, it allows you to target a blue ocean of customers. And when you can talk to a blue ocean of customers where there's no one selling to those customers, it'll allow you to price however you want. You don't have to compete on price. You don't have to compete with saturation because you're solving a completely different problem. And that is the importance of really using a blue ocean strategy. And really the most important thing here is, how premium can you get? Can you solve a different problem that a customer is having with the same product that the customer values more? Can you create different messaging that aligns with a different customer? That is what allowed me to create separation and what truly allowed me to scale to over $43 million while most people were selling the same product and couldn't even make their first million. And now moving on to step 3 on my road to my first 100K. The most important thing here in the content creation phase is using a proven formula. And I've already broken this down for you, so you don't even have to do most of the heavy lifting. This is actually the formula that we use in our 8-figure brand to make winning ads. And it goes hook, proof, product introduction, benefits, unique selling proposition, and then call to action. And if you look at the biggest brands advertising the most, you'll realize that they follow this exact formula. This is what I've compiled personally after making thousands of ads, because I understand that if you can take a customer through this formula, they will be educated enough to make a purchase. If they understand that your product works, if they understand what your product is in the product introduction, if you list out the benefits of your product, not the features, like truly how much better is the customer's life after using your product. And for example, if they're using your reverse balding supplement, their benefit isn't that their hair is going to grow. The real benefit might be that their wife actually finds them attractive again, or that they feel 20 years younger, or the fact that they don't have to wear hats anymore everywhere they go, right? That's the true benefit, not features. A lot of people make this mistake and start listing out features. And then USP, unique selling proposition. Again, what makes your product different? When we first started selling our product, our unique selling proposition was just our guarantee. It was the fact that if you wouldn't lose a trackable amount, then you would get a refund. That was our unique selling proposition. No one else had that risk reversal guarantee. So we marketed that as the unique selling proposition. But a unique selling proposition could also be you have a different color, a different flavor, a different combination. It's just a unique factor. So when your customer puts your product against the competition, your product stands out. Okay. And then a CTA. And really the biggest lesson for content creation is that you want to model the competition. For example, there's these honey sticks that are selling really well on Calo data, and there's about 7,000 ads, right, pushing this product. There is so much valuable insight of what type of content and what type of verbiage and what type of copy is working for this product. So what I would do personally is that I would just study the messaging, I would study the copy, I would study the avatars, I would study the content that is working and getting the most sales. And then I would model it. And again, most people make this mistake where they're just like, oh, I'm gonna just take the content and throw it up on Facebook, and hope it gets sales. But again, if they're not following this formula, one, the customer is not going to be educated and convinced to purchase the product. And two, you're doing the same thing as everyone else. And the entire goal here is to be different. And if you're not different and just copying and pasting, you're not going to win. You're not going to win at this game, right? So again, just model the competition, find parts, find good content pieces that are performing, model them, use AI to actually make new videos. There's really good tools like Arcats that has AI actors, or even 11 Labs, which is probably the best platform for creating voiceovers. You can make some banger ads by just using 11 Labs as a voiceover platform and actually just stitching a bunch of content to the edit. And we do this all the time for our brands. At the end of the day, we still model and take inspiration from brands that are doing really well. And then we bring it to ours and we do it differently. And then the last step of what I would take to get to my first 100 grand with branded dropshipping is crafting an irresistible offer. And the most important thing here is that you want to compete on value, not price. If this was a price competition, you can go to Amazon, AliExpress, and find your product there. But why would someone buy from you versus AliExpress versus Amazon versus every single competitor out there in the marketplace? Value. You are going to outvalue your competition. That's what I did. I bundled up 2 winning products. One was the main product and the other one was just an enhancer for the product. And this allowed me to outvalue every single competitor in the space and sell more products than everyone else. And I still do this to this day. A great example is going back to just my Dermadream. As you can see, they have a free gift, but it's not just any free gift. It's not just combining products. It's what product is going to actually enhance the use of the product that you are selling. This brand found out that collagen peptides help firm sagging skin and support elasticity. So this makes perfect sense to combine the enhancer, which is the gummies, with the arm sculpting device, because it's going to, one, deliver more value than everyone else in the marketplace, and two, separate yourself from the competition. And again, this is what you want to do. But I want to bring up an example of what you don't want to do. And then going back to this brand that is selling the same product as my Dermadream, that's solving a different problem, they combine the gua sha with the facial sculptor. Now, do you think the gua sha is actually enhancing the features of the facial sculptor? No. So this is a bad combination. This is an alternative. You don't want to gift your customers alternatives. You want to gift your customers enhancers. Now, they did something well, which is, they give like a gift card, but this is not what you want to do. You don't want to give your customers alternatives. You want to give your customers enhancers that are actually going to provide value and make it a no-brainer for someone to choose you. And you can do this by bundling up products, digital bonuses like that brand did, and then truly having some type of urgency. This could be like a seasonal urgency. This can be a prices increasing urgency. This could be the last time they're getting this free gift urgency, just some type of urgency to push the customer over the edge. And honestly, the best part about this is that you could charge 10 times more than your competition. When we combined those 2 products and delivered more value than everyone else, we were able to increase our prices by 5x. And it's funny because this allowed us to be the premium in the marketplace. While everyone was selling our product for scraps, we were selling our product for 5x. And making more money and getting all the customers to come to our brand. And it's truly because we outvalued everyone in the marketplace. Now, those were the steps that I would do to get my first 100K with branded dropshipping. I hope you guys found some value. Now, if you guys need help implementing this, we have the best program linked in the description. It's made over 10 millionaires and allowed over 65 people to quit their 9-to-5 and make money with branded dropshipping. Again, my name is Leo. Make sure you drop in the comments what kind of videos you guys want to see from me in the future, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.